Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. Happy Tuesday, July 14th. It's great to be here with you. I know you might have noticed I'm kind of switching things a little bit to where I plan on doing 4 videos a week, Monday through Thursday, and then doing my Fiverr Friday live as I normally do. Whereas before, I had originally done 5 live videos a week, but that was becoming just way too much. And then I was doing, a video live on Tuesday and then live on Thursday and Friday. But, again, my schedule, like today I had about 15, 20 voiceovers, and I've gotten about half or so of them done, or a little bit more, and I'm trying to finish all that up because then I've got coaching sessions later tonight with coaching students. So busy, and I'm trying to make sure that I continue to bring you content at the same time being understanding of all of our schedules. So anyways, today I want to talk to you about technology and the gap that is hurting a lot of voiceover artists. So, I again been blessed with the ability to have coached a lot of voiceover artists and continue to coach voiceover artists. New voiceover artists. Voiceover artists has been in the industry for a while. But what I notice, especially with newer voiceover artists and traditionally voiceover artists, well, actually, it doesn't matter the age. Okay, whether you're young or old, it doesn't really matter. I noticed that a lot of us, for whatever reason, we're not really technologically savvy. We can use a computer and things like that, but a lot of us aren't good at, making a website or understanding the ins and outs of TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, and then understanding all of those unique things we need to do on the different pay-to-play sites and websites, and also how to make a podcast and how to, bill online and how to do all sorts of things that we don't, I think, as a voiceover industry talk a lot about, because it doesn't necessarily, well, what's interesting about this, it doesn't directly apply to us performing, and it doesn't apply to us necessarily, speaking to a customer. But let's be honest, and I know you've probably realized it by now. I mean, some of the hardest things that we do in this business is actually not voiceover, in my opinion. The hardest things is navigating how to work online with software and with, your DAW and with equipment, but also, because if we move away from equipment and DAW, because that's still all revolving around, voice and stuff. What about, your website? What about how to post on different places? What about how to fill out your profile on Instagram? You know what I mean? How do you send direct messages? Do you know how to put up an Instagram story, which is, more than over, I think that the numbers are crazy. Over 500 million people daily are using Instagram stories. Do you even know what that is? Are you using Twitter lists? Are you using Twitter at all? Are you messaging people on Twitter? Are you using LinkedIn to its fullest? Are you sending videos of you talking one-on-one with clients directly to your connections that you can do on LinkedIn, which is very special? I find you can actually do that on multiple platforms. Are you posting things on YouTube that's allowing potential clients to see what you're doing? Are you actively engaging in TikTok? Right? Are you doing these things? Do you have a Facebook group? Are you driving, people to a certain place online? All of these things, they are so important to running a business online, finding leads and emailing them. Okay. Knowing how to make eye-popping, like appealing looking and great sounding, samples for your voiceover business and posting them places, tagging people, right? Using relevant hashtags. Like these are, it's interesting in our day and age, these things I just mentioned to you, they are vital. I mean, they are part and parcel to your entire business. And if you don't know how to do those things, you are going to find it's very hard to run an online business. And because you've got like two things going on, right? You got your whole voiceover side, right? You got to master your performance. You got to master your DAW and your equipment and your space, right? But then you've got to master how to be able to manage an entire online world, where most of us, right, have been brought up and learned how to manage an offline world where we're face to face with people. Well, now everything we do has to be geared towards working through the internet. So I want to just implore you to don't shy away from learning how to do something online and how to, be able to use software and how to be able to make eye-appealing samples and photos and being able to manipulate photos and being able to, learn about social media, which actually I'm dropping a little hint here. I'm going to be coming out with the ultimate social media marketing course because a lot of my students I work with and a lot of people come to me too and say, hey, how do I use Instagram? How do I use Twitter? How do I use TikTok? How do I use all these things? And how do I use them to get business? And what does that model look like? What do I even do? And then the biggest question always is, what do I post? What kind of content do I post? Right? And then why am I posting a picture, of myself? Like, what is that going to do? Right? So I'm going to be working on putting a course together for everybody. And people have been asking me that for a while. But the idea to this whole thing is this. I'm a big advocate of knowing, know thyself. Know what you're good at, know what you're not good at. And know what battles to fight and what battles not to fight. And where I'm going with this is this. There is something to be said about you being a master, a jack of all trades. Right? I mean, that's it. And when we're running a solopreneur business like we are, it's important that we can do multiple things. However, there does come a point where you have to understand that no matter how long you train, there are going to be people who are better in the world at doing something than you, and you have an opportunity to use them to boost your business higher. Here's a perfect example. My website. I love my website, but before I had my particular website I have now, I used a WordPress website. Now, anybody remembers that? My phone's just going crazy over here. If anybody remembers that, my VO's Journey or Anthony Pica VO, the website before, it was pretty bad. Like, it was kind of I kind of refer to it as a joke, right? Because I'm not good at building websites. I don't even know. I mean, I know a little bit. I understand the overall idea, but when it comes to code, even using WordPress, I don't like it because it's so not intuitive. And if you were to go to my website now at VO's Journey and you'd look at my stuff, you'd think, I mean, that guy really knows how to do online, like websites, how to do all sorts of stuff, email stuffs and all kinds of coding and everything. And what I realized is that I was never going to get where I needed to be in order to build out the website that I needed to build in order to make my business successful. So I found places, websites that, gave me the structure, the built-in help, if you will, in order to get to what I needed done on my website without me spending, months, years figuring it out. I mean, because you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to do these things. And if you haven't been trained, it's like, you could watch YouTube video after YouTube video, but it's hard. All right. So anyways, the point I'm getting at is don't underestimate how important it is to know the technology side of what we're doing online, okay, the software side, and leverage what is available out there for you to boost yourself, to take away time. Now, often, we've got to do something, right? We either trade money for time or time for money, all right? And, for us, I like to try to invest money to give me back time so that I can take that time, find other places to invest more money to give me back more time, et cetera, and it just becomes a cycle, a wheel that you grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But you've got to not shy away from those things and know that it's important to accept that I am not great at, building a website. I am not great at, coding. I'm not great at building apps. I'm just not great at these things. I don't even know where to start when it comes to an app. You know what I mean? And, I have my podcast, which many of you listen to, right? A VO's Journey podcast. That has over 170 episodes. And, I started out on SoundCloud because it was free and I didn't know any better. But I tried to pick a place. I did a lot of research and I tried to pick a place to go to, which I'm on Buzzsprout now, that really has a robust, communication system with a bunch of different platforms that it sends out my podcast to. And it's a great host that has many different things like transcribing and creating, it creates little sound bites, and it does all of these things. You know what I mean? And it's optimized really well. There's players that I can use. It's a really nice podcast-friendly thing. But the point is, I couldn't have figured that out by myself. And I could have wasted so much time and effort taking my focus away from what really mattered, which was creating the content, right? Communicating with people, as opposed to me doing all the technical stuff that I had to do in order to get to that point. So think about that. And if you're a person who is struggling, all right, with a website, with, figuring out how to get on social media platforms, figuring out how to get on regular websites, like you can't figure out Fiverr, for God's sakes. You can't figure out voices.com. Don't be, you are not alone. You are not alone. There's so many of us who struggle with that. The key is for you to find someone or something, a platform, a piece of software, a place that will help you. I'm actually going to put a link to the website I use down below. It'll be an affiliate link. So if you do sign up for the website, I get something for that. But I just wanted to let you know that, so I'm upfront about it. But check out a VO's Journey and you'll see from a website standpoint of view, it gives you so many options, because I have my voiceover business on there. You know what I mean? And I also have my coaching business runs through there. And I'm also able to take different domains and point it to that. Now, you can do that with any site, but it's just a fantastic way. Like, that's just one example of how I've leveraged something that I could have never done on my own and made it way better. It makes me look way more professional than I would if I just try to do it on my own. And I know, thank God, it's not up anymore. But I'm telling you, if you had seen a VO's Anthony Pica VO, the WordPress site, some of you probably remember it. It was a joke. It was one of those things where it's like orange, and it was bad. It was bad, and I looked so. It made me feel so unprofessional. You know what I mean? It was hard to navigate. The thing, even the player was kind of weird, it was just like, if anybody had gone there, they would have been like, I wouldn't want to work with this guy. He's very unprofessional. And that's another thing that we have to deal with. You might be the best voice artist in the world, but if our stuff looks unprofessional, if it's not easy to work with online, right? If we don't know what we're doing, it makes us look unprofessional and not that good, even if we are. So anyways, I'll stop here being on my soapbox. I just wanted to tell you my thoughts I was having about technology and online stuff that we often never talk about in the voiceover industry, just because, it's one of those things where more of us are working online now, not from a studio where someone else handles it. So we have to become really good at working online. Safety. I didn't even talk about security. You have to have things in place about being hacked, right? Accounts. Where does your money go through, right? How are you accepting money online? You know what I mean? I mean, how are you, and is the place you're accepting money, is it secure? Are your passwords secure? Your accounts, I mean, like, this is important stuff, right? How are you managing email? Like, so how is your CRM, right? Are you managing your client management system, right? I mean, like, how are you managing all that information and data? How are you keeping it safe? Like, this is all stuff that, we really do we need to think about, but most of us are so overwhelmed, it's very difficult to think about because we don't even know what to do. So anyways, I hope this video has helped. I hope this is at least put in the front of your mind to say, listen, you're not alone. There's many of us who struggle with these things, but if we come together and help share resources and stuff, I think it will be very helpful. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll put that link below. If you get a chance, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Peace.